Welcome to this basic tutorial on how to use Lego EV3 Mindstorms, or Lego Mindstorms EV3, whichever way you call that. Alright, now I'm going to show you basically some basic movements, like how to go forward, backward, how to do repeat loops, how to only move forward if a certain condition is present. For example, if you press the touch switch, then your robot can move. If not, it doesn't move, stuff like that. And how to use the color sensor. All right, so let's get started. Okay, so you see the robot appearing on the top right. Okay, that's the robot that I have got, and the mat is basically a mat with the oval black ring. All right, this mat is often used for sumo wrestling. My kids used to love making sumo robots and push the other robot off out of the black line. All right, but anyway, talk about that in another video. Let's get started with some basic movements. All right, so at the bottom you've got the different tabs. You've got action tab. Second one is flow control. Action would be basically all the motors, your large motor, okay, medium motor, and all that. Flow control, you'd have your wait statements, or wait until condition is met. You have your loops, whether it's a definite loop or repeat forever loop. You have your switch statement, which is basically like an if-else if you've done scratch. All right, this is a loop interrupt. If you want to break out of your loop, then you can use this. Okay, I'm just going to touch on these first two tabs for today. Okay, now, so how do you get your robot to move forward? Now, my robot has been connected through Bluetooth. All right, that's why you don't see any cables dangling connected to the robot, which is a good idea often. So you can go to your settings and set it up with Bluetooth, and you don't have to worry about cables. And then putting your cables in, taking your cables out, that can be really, really messy. All right, so how do I get my robot to move forward? This is my favorite block. This is called the move tank block. Okay, with this block, you can control two large motors at the same time. Just make things a lot easier. Make sure that ports B and C are the left and right motors. Now the first number here, 50, controls the power for the left motor. The right one controls the power for the right motor. All right. So as you can see, my robot, we've got a left motor here. That's the left, okay, and that's the right motor. I'm going to put it back down. Okay. All right. So you've got different modes of operation. So I talked about the two powers. Different modes of operation. You can turn it on. On means it's just going to go on forever. Okay. That's not very helpful. Unless you've got a condition like when there's no black line, when it's on a white surface, go on forever. If it's on a black line, stop. But I'm basically teaching you a simple movement, so we need to have some sort of a limitation or constraint. So the other modes are on for seconds, so you can decide to put it on both left and right motor power 50 for 1 second. You can decide to go on for degrees, left and right motor for 360 degrees. 360 degrees, again, the robot is not turning. What's happening is the wheels are turning 360 degrees, which means it's moving one full rotation of the wheel. All right. Or you could say on for rotations. Pretty much similar to degrees. So instead of having 360 degrees, I could say robot go forward 1 rotation. Okay. And the distance is ideally going to be, okay, so 1 rotation, if you look at the robot here, okay, if this is my starting point, it's going to move until this point comes back to the top. So that's the whole one. It's basically the perimeter of the wheel. Okay, so let's get some movement started. Okay, so I'm going to move forward 1 rotation now, and this is how you download and run. So press the play button. Okay, let's get started. Here you go. All right, there you go. So it's moved forward 1 rotation. Okay, I'm going to move it back again. Now, so how do you move? The next thing I'm going to show you is how do you move forward and then backward again. Okay, so I've got this move tank moving forward. I'm going to bring in another move tank. Okay. Now this time around, to go backward, all you need to do is reverse your power. -50. You can use the slider to adjust as well. -50. All right, I'm going to download and run. And now you'll see the robot moving forward and backward. There you go. Perfect. All right. Now let's say if you want your robot to move forward, wait for 1 second and then move backward. This is what you do. Go to the second tab, the flow control, bring in a weight, and then you've got your motor going backwards. All right, so let's try that. Download and run. Wait 1 second, backward. All right, cool. Now I'm going to show you how to use a bit of the flow control. All right, so let's say if you wanted so this is a loop. Okay, so if you want something to go on forever, or for 2 times or 3 times, you got to put whatever blocks you have inside here. So I'm going to remove these blocks. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put these things. Sorry, so that's my. Put these blocks inside the loop. The weight will go in the middle. Okay, and this will join to the play button that you have. So that's like the play button, the running button. All right, and that's an infinite loop, unlimited. I could change it to, if I want to change it to a definite loop, I just need to go to count and then key in the number. So I key in, for example, 2. It will go back and forth with a wait of 1 second in between twice. So let's try this out. 1 second, back, forward, 1 second, back. All right. If you undo this forever, then you just change it to the default unlimited. All right, and that will just go on forever. Let's remove the wait time here so that we can just see this action happen faster. So this is going to be faster, and let's make it really fast. If I'm going to change it to 80, let's change it to 100 for that matter. 100. Now this is the fastest you can go, honestly, unless you're doing a gear train to make it go even faster. But with the normal wheel, without any gearing, this is the fastest it can go back and forth. Okay, so forward 1 rotation, backward 1 rotation, goes on forever. This is how it goes. Let's download and run. Now I've just stopped the motion. As you can see, it's jerking a bit. That's because it's going at such a high speed, and without stopping, you're coming back straight away. So you see a bit of that jerk happening. Okay, let's change it back to 50. All right, let's change it back to 50. All right, now what I'm going to show you now is the if-else statement in Lego EV3, which is basically called a switch. In Scratch, you call it if-else. Down here, you call it a switch. So this is my switch block. Okay. I want to explain this in a bit. Okay, so what's happening is this is a forever loop outside. It's a loop. Inside is a switch block, which basically goes like this. You've got a condition. If your condition is true, do this. If your condition is not true, do this. Okay, so let's set our touch sensor as the condition. So when I press the touch sensor, it's going to go forward. If it's not pressed, it's going to stay put. So this is how you set it. So touch sensor, compare, state. Now you've got 3 states. 0 is not pressed. 1 is pressed, but this one means you got to press and keep pressing it and not release it. 2 is my favorite. It's bumped. That means you press it 1 time, and that's what is required. So if your touch sensor is just pressed 1 time, and this is my touch sensor. Okay, can you see that sensor here? That's my touch sensor. All right, so if I press that now, once I download the program, once I've done the program, that is, and put in the right blocks, it's going to go forward. And how do I do that? So if touch sensor is pressed, if that's true, I'm going to get the robot to move forward. So move tank. And this is where you turn on the mode on. So you don't want to turn it on for seconds or something. As long as it's pressed once, it's going to go on. Okay, if that's what you want. Okay, but if you want it to go for, let's say, 2 seconds, or 1 second, then you can adjust here. Let's just try seconds for a change. All right, so when I press the touch sensor, it will go forward for 2 seconds at 50. If not, it's just going to stay put. But I don't want this part to be empty. Actually, the Lego program might give you some error because that's not supposed to be empty. So it's going to be the robot's going to be basically turned off, the motors are going to be off. So one way to basically say that it's going to stay put is by just choosing off. So what's going to happen is touch sensor bumped, goes forward for 2 seconds, not bumped, stays put. All right, cool. Let's do that. Okay. Now one more thing to take note is your port number. Make sure your port number for your touch sensor is the right port that you've actually connected your touch sensor to. Okay. Let me just check. So that's the cable that's connected. That should be the port 1. That's my touch sensor. All right. So let's start and download and run. See, nothing's happening until I press the touch sensor. 1, 2 seconds and then stop. Alright, so that's what's happening. Right. This is for the touch sensor. The next thing that I'm going to show you is the ultrasonic sensor. Alright, so what I'm going to do is it's going to go forward unless there is an obstacle sensed. Alright, so my condition is going to be if ultrasonic sensor compare distance centimeters. Alright, this is the less than, you can choose less than, more than, equals to, whatever you want. So if my obstacle is less than, which is number 4, if it's less than 10, then I'm going to switch this. If it's less than 10, that means obstacle spotted. I want my robot to stop. Else I want it to go forward. But again, I want it to go forward without having a limitation of time. Okay, so it's just going to be on. So without any time limitation, it's just going to keep going. All right, it's a simple program. No obstacle, keep going. Obstacle within 10 centimeters, stop. All right, I'm going to put that one a bit backward. I'm going to try and use my book. Use a simple book as an obstacle. All right, I'm going to show you how this works. I'm going to reduce the speed a little bit so it doesn't keep going too fast out of the camera and you can't see it anymore. All right, so there you go. Stop there, lift it, stop, lift it, keeps going all the way. All right, cool.